T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff.
Live from somewhere deep in the Freedom State of Florida, it's the Let's Be Frank Show with your host, Frank.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining me tonight on another edition of our Freedom Stream on Saturday night. I've missed you guys. It's been a good 2 weeks since the last time we streamed, but it's all good tonight. Tonight, I also actually have a co-host all the way from the other side of the country in a state that's so mediocre, their initials are okay. Joining me tonight is Jason, all the way over from Oklahoma. Hey, Jason, great to see you tonight.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. Last time, if I remember right, I was on here. I was once called Aircraft Sparky. No longer. I'm just going by my Christian name. Why? Because I don't care. I don't care anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to take off the mask. It is time to come forward and speak the truth, not your truth, the truth. That means the things that are objectively correct. And yes, good to be back. Good to be working with you again, Frank. How we doing, chat?
Yeah, no, great to have you here tonight, Sparky. And of course, thanks to have the chat here tonight as well. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you guys are new. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to hit that share button. That helps out the channel tremendously. Hey, I have a goal tonight, guys. It's in the chat right now. If you can see in the chat, there's a goal set up for trying to hit a good goal for this, because this, as you guys know, is what I do all the time. This is my full-time job. And it can be tough some days, and not tough as in sense of going out and having to work really hard, because I do that too on the side. But if you guys could help out the channel, we hit the goal for 10 super chats tonight. So during tonight's broadcast, if we can hit those 10 super chats tonight, that would be fantastic. That would get us an extra bonus time with me and Jason, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about at that point. So hit those super chat buttons if you guys can help out the channel. That'd be fantastic, and I would thank you guys so much. So, Jason, it's been a while since you've been here. We have a whole new administration since the last time you joined me.
Well, so I said once Trump was in office, once he finally got into office after winning all 7 swing states, that I was going to hang up my hat and I was not going to be doing this. And well, I've held true to my word. But Frank, you pulled me back in. You pulled me back in. I don't know why. But hey,
I did.
If that's what the people demand, I shall do it. And ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you right now, we have 0 out of 10. Much disappointment. Much shameful display. Shameful display. This man's trying to make a living. Help him. Help me help him by you reaching in your wallet and throwing a little bit of money his way. Why? Because he's too proud to beg himself. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something, Frank.
What you doing, Sparky? I mean, Jason, I'm sorry. It's gonna be like this all night.
It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. But you know what? You get I'll do the first one. You know what? I'll put my money where my mouth is. So yeah. There you go.
Check that out.
Told you.
Check that out. Thank you so much, Sparky, or Jason, for the $10 super chat. We are now 9 away from hitting the goal tonight. So you hit that goal, we get the bonus time. We talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. You guys lead the conversation from that point forward until we have nothing else to say about it.
Heck yeah.
So
and that is Yeah, Lesson 3 Entertainment is what I changed my my channel name to. I'm actually going to be doing. I've actually been practicing, been playing those things, trying to learn music so I can do Muzak videos and make my own weird, twisted versions of them. But hey, I haven't touched a guitar in like 20 plus years, so it's going a little bit slower than I was hoping. Bear with me, and we'll have some fun. But look, I put my money where my mouth is. I hope you do the same, ladies and gentlemen. Let's up those numbers and let's get the money rolling. Let's help Frank pay his internet bill. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Sparky or Jason, I'm sorry. It's going to be like that all night. But let's talk about this. We had the Peace Summit yesterday. We had a big Peace Summit. Of course, people were losing their minds over on the left. The left were really, really, really angry about the possibility of peace. They were so upset with the peace agreement. There were lefties on Twitter calling for the execution of Putin on American soil. One tweet I saw said, "Where are the American snipers to take out Putin? Now's our chance."
Well, the American snipers were actually watching Putin. Hey, I'm going to break it down to you. They were protecting him. You know why? Because when you offer for a diplomatic word with the leader of another country in your own country, you are responsible for their security, and that's what our snipers were doing.
Yes.
So all those that were calling for the death of Putin, who once called Trump a traitor for working with him, they're all idiots. They're all certified room temperature IQ retards, and mock them, make fun of their penis or lack thereof, and move on.
Pride their lack of, because they're too busy trying to transition into some ugly woman. Oof. Oof. So that whole thing was taking place in the backdrop of the Peace Summit yesterday. And of course, you know, Putin and Trump come together, they talk, they shake hands. Trump does the boss move, but with a big handshake, pulling him in, as he's notably famous for. And of course, they've come to some type of agreement tentatively that will now have to include Zelensky. I believe where I read something along the lines that Zelensky needs to wear a suit if he's going to plan on meeting with Trump. But let's go ahead and take a listen to this quick clip here from Peter Doocy over on Fox News to kind of set the stage with the whole Zelensky to visit the White House after the Putin-Trump summit. Let's take a listen.
And the contours of a potential peace plan are coming together after President Putin's visit here in Alaska. Russia essentially wants control of 2 territories in eastern Ukraine if they are going to agree to ceasefire everywhere else. Ukraine wants security guarantees. They want Western troops to come into their country and guarantee that Russia doesn't come back and try anything again. That is according to a brand new item in the Washington Post.
I mean, we were together almost 3 hours, and it was very extensive, and we agreed on a lot of points. I mean, a lot of points we agreed on, but there's not that much. There's, 1 or 2 pretty significant items, but I think they can be reached. Now it's really up to President Zelensky to get it done. And I would also say the European nations, they have to get involved a little bit, but it's up to President Zelensky.
President Zelensky is confirmed for a White House visit on Monday. European partners have reportedly also been invited. We don't know if that would be in person or virtual. The president says this is because it was determined by all that the best way to end the horrific war between Russia and Ukraine is to go directly to a peace agreement, which would end the war, and not a mere ceasefire agreement, which oftentimes do not hold up. Between now and then, Zelensky is warning, based on the political and diplomatic situation around Ukraine and knowing Russia's treachery, we anticipate that in the coming days, the Russian army may try to increase pressure and strikes against Ukrainian positions in order to create more favorable political circumstances for talks with global actors. And despite his refusal to end the war so far, Putin says he sees progress.
Our negotiations have been held in a constructive atmosphere of mutual respect. We had very thorough negotiations.
We're waiting to hear back from the White House about which European leaders may be invited to join President Trump and President Zelensky on Monday. But it's clear we've come a long way since Volodymyr Zelensky was scolded in the Oval Office by J.D. Vance for being ungrateful. And it's a safe bet that on Monday, Zelensky is probably going to wear a suit. John?
All right.
All right, Sparky. I mean, Jason, what's your reaction to this as we come out of this with the whole peace summit and Ukrainian posturing at the moment?
Well, okay. So Zelensky, of course, is going to have to meet with Trump. Trump is working as a mediator between the two warring countries. Okay. Talking to Putin without Zelensky is actually a good move. It gives an opportunity to actually get a better feel of what Putin and the Russian people want in order to end this war. And doing the same thing with Vladimir Zelensky, it's just good. It's good business. Trump is doing this one right. The only issue that I have with this, the only real issue that I have is I don't want Zelensky to show up in a suit. I want him to show up in his fatigues, pretending like he's super soldier or whatever, just as long as he doesn't ask for another dime. The deal that, and my thing has always been with this, and I'm going to continue because I'm actually principled. I don't want to send money to any foreign country. I want all that money here in America. I want all of our weapons here in America. If someone wants to buy weapons off us and give it to them, that's their business. But as far as America is concerned, Americans and American money doesn't need to be involved in this war on either side.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you think that that Zelensky will work to try to undermine this deal? Because he did that the first time they were trying to come to some type of negotiation with Russia and, of course, Ukraine when President Trump had won. That was one of the first initiatives he's kind of tackled in the new administration. Do you think he's going to work to try to sabotage this once again, or do you think he's running out of options and this is basically the last chance that he gets?
So I don't really think that he's going to try to per se sabotage. However, I do believe that what he is going to consider to be no-goes is going to be basically is going to kill any idea of peace. And that'll be asking for the oblast back of Donetsk, the Donetsk Oblast, and the other one that Russia is saying that they want to have because they've taken control of them.
Right.
Okay. Hate to break this to you, Ukraine, but it is no longer sovereign Ukrainian land because you no longer control it. Okay, comrade. Okay. I hate to break this to you, pal, but you lost. Okay. Where what Putin is probably asking for, and I don't know all the details because they haven't released them, is he wants to keep the land that they've already captured. I think that's actually reasonable. This war has gone on for way too long. It absolutely has. And look, I think it would be good for the stability of Europe and good for the Russians and the Ukrainians to end this war. I don't care. I don't have not America's, not our circus, not our monkeys, you know?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to highlight Fat Boy Gaming Nonsense.
Let's go.
One of our great supporters. And of course, he comes in and he knows that we're trying to reach a goal here for a different goal, our monthly goal for our memberships. We are looking for 50 memberships for our monthly goal. He just gifted 5 of them just now. So we went from 9 to 14 and just like that. So awesome.
Thanks you so much. I received one of those. I am Lesson 3 Gaming over there on YouTube in the chat.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that free membership.
There you go. See, you paid it forward, Sparky.
Heck yeah. I like it.
Yeah, there we go. That's awesome.
You know, we talked about this earlier today. So Frank hit me up. What was it last night? You texted me and you're like, "Hey man, I kind of want you to come on and do some shows with me." And I'm like, "Sure, yeah." Blah blah blah. And today, so he texts me again, and so I give him a call and we're talking. Oh, there we go. Fat Boy Gaming with another 5.
Whoa!
Absolute mad lad.
That's 10. That is 10 memberships just now. Wow, that's awesome.
That is awesome. Look,
I have to update the banner, Sparky.
there you go. There you go. Now we're 19 out of 50. Let's fricking go.
That's what we're talking about. Wow, he actually really paid it forward already.
Heck yeah. No, Frank asked me, he's like, he's like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I gave some of my opinions, and quite generically, because, well, today I was installing a toilet, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing is more humbling than dealing with the old throne, if you know what I'm saying. So hey, you're actually starting to see Rumble chats on the you can bring up Rumble chats now, huh?
Yeah. That's
wow.
amazing.
StreamYards is moving forward. Let's go.
I feel like I'm doing that OBS thing.
Yeah. No, but look, me and Frank are actually friends outside of YouTube. We've actually done we've hung out together, we've eaten together, we've broken bread, we've gone on vacations. Our wives have gone on vacations together. So if people think that we actually work well together, it's because we actually like each other. It's like legit. By the way, Frank's taller than me. I'm offended by that, but it's okay.
Real quick, I just want to make sure we give a little bit more love to their Fat Boy Gaming as well. He has a YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, check him out. He has a pretty cool gaming channel. If you're into old school retro gaming, he does that. And of course, as anything, we like to support our community, and that's a great way to support it by going over there and subscribing to his channel as well. And he will be a guest this coming week. I did get a chance to text him back earlier today, but he will be a guest later this week as we dive into the Roblox scandal that is erupting. He has a lot of info that he wants to kind of unload, and I'll give him a chance to kind of have his moment to go ahead and do that on the channel. So Fat Boy Gaming, I'll be texting you a little bit later. We'll go ahead and coordinate that. I know it's a little bit last minute what we were trying to do earlier today, but we'll get that taken care of for this week. I really want to make sure we have all of our ducks in a row for that story. So yeah, he says all day tomorrow. That's great. That's great. Yeah, don't forget the emotes, he said. He said, drop those emotes. All you new members, drop those emotes. You got new emotes, guys. There you go. And by the way, those emotes were designed by Jason as well.
I was about to say they did kind of look familiar.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. But yeah, I see the emotes. I love them. Hey, we were a little bit ahead of the times there, Jason, with the emote of President Trump in front of McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, I look, that was all you, buddy. That was you calling what you wanted, right? So
Nostradamus Jason. Coming in big with his predictions, whether he knew it or not.
Well, sometimes you're blessed or cursed. Call it one or the other.
So, yeah. So with the whole Peace Summit thing, I know this last week has really been a cycle for the Democrat Party in a couple ways, right? Because we see what President Trump was doing with the foreign policy, right? We talked about that. We talked about how he's working with Russia to end the war with Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia, being that mediator, right? But what he's also doing is working to clean up one of the filthiest cities in the country. And that's the one that's in direct control of the federal government, Washington, D.C., where he's actually showing that you can clean up your own city by just, enforcing the laws, Sparky. I mean, Jason.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing because, first of all, they told him that he couldn't do anything at the border. How's that working out for you, Dems? Okay. Didn't have to have any new laws. Now they did have to pass a little bit of more appropriation for ICE.
Right.
Another like what was it, $50 billion or something? I mean, with a B. But that's okay because we're going to yeet them mugs out. We're going to use the trebuchet of freedom. We're going to yeet people into the Gulf of America, which, by the way, dumbest idea that Trump had. But hey, I'm okay with it. And we'll take them to Alligator Alcatraz if they don't want to they don't want to leave, and let them hang out with old Crocky for a little bit. What's up, Dr. Insomnia? Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. So he's done this whole thing, and they're basically right now, Jason, their message is we want crime in our cities is their message because of how hard they're fighting. You and I, we've been to DC. I think I've told the story a couple different times about how walking in the city, in the greater area of DC, there where all the monuments and everything are, you're going down, and I think it was between the Trump Hotel and like Freedom Plaza. If you walk that street, it smells like piss and marijuana.
Yeah, it smells like New Orleans. But you know,
that's our nation's capital, by the way.
You know, one of my favorite memories from that trip, the night before we went and did the Freedom Stream from outside the front of the Capitol. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a filthy smoker, and so of course we're walking. I light up a cigarette, and Frank is being very, very cordial and not telling me how nasty I am. But then we have some interesting individual. If you remember this guy, Frank, walked up in a bit of a, you would call it black bloc, wouldn't you? The way he was dressed.
Yeah, almost so. He was all solid black,
and
all black clothing. He had a little black hood on and stuff like that as well. A skull cap.
And he goes, "Hey man, can you help me out? What you need, pal?" It's like, "I need a cigarette." And I just looked and went, "Nope."
Yeah, we're sitting outside the hotel for that.
And Frank's looking at me. I'm like, "In fact, you don't belong here. You should probably carry on." And Frank's just like looking at me, like he's amazed because I don't think he realized just how rude I can be. And I wasn't cussing at him. I wasn't aggressive. I just said, "You don't belong here, and you should probably leave." And Frank's like, "Wow. I've never seen this side of you, Jason." And I'm like, your wife told me to take care of you, so I'm taking care of you, buddy.
Taking care of you. So we know from firsthand experience how terrible DC was, and that was during COVID, right?
Yeah.
Jason. So it was terrible even during COVID when people weren't allowed to be outside or whatever. It was still bad.
Well, terrible. You could be outside if you had the right politics.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, they still had Black Lives Matter Square or whatever the hell they called it.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's the place that had the defunded police painted on the street.
Yeah.
And so, and the homeless problem was a big thing, was it not?
Oh yeah, and it's only gotten worse.
Yeah,
but it's still not as bad as what you see over in, like, I don't know, California.
Yeah,
that has little villages.
Yeah, LA showed that you could clean up the city pretty quickly, especially when China was coming in to visit the city. They cleaned up the homelessness pretty quickly. They bulldozed everything down, and we're ready for Mr. Winnie the Pooh himself to come and visit.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Look, here's the deal. If you want to get things done, if you absolutely want to get things done, all you have to do is enforce the laws that are existing on the books. Now, I have a problem with the District of Columbia actually being a city. Mayor Bowser, or whatever her name is.
Bro, she retreated. She ran all the way back to Martha Vineyard. She won't be back till next Friday.
They look, DC should not be a city. DC should be a federal district like it was intended.
Mm-hmm.
And look, all that residential area, you know what? DC should be generous, and they should cede that land back to Maryland, and they can work under the Maryland flag. All the federal land should only have federal buildings on it. Nobody living there, except maybe, you know what? If you want to build a barracks for the senators and representatives for them to live while they're serving their constituent states,
that would be something.
But other than that, no one should live there. Absolutely no one. Everyone should be living in Virginia or over in Maryland.
Maryland, I meant. I almost said West Virginia.
Well, I mean, West Virginia is like an hour commute. It's not that bad.
Yeah, you're right. Not too bad. Well, Colin Rugg here is reporting this. Let's take a look at this story real quick. It has some video that goes along with it. New 75 homeless camps in Washington, D.C. have been cleared since President Trump's safe and beautiful executive order, according to the New York Post. 80 graffiti sites have also been cleaned from Capitol Hill parks. President Trump signed the order to make D.C. safe and beautiful in March, and our dedicated U.S. Park Police have been working around the clock since to enforce this directive, clean up our streets, and ensure our nation's capital is safe, said Interior Deputy Secretary Aubrey Spady to the Post. And here it is. Let's take a look. Love to see it.
This is crazy.
Into the garbage truck. They like to build a tent above those air vents too,
Yeah.
because they blow,
This is crazy.
air.
Yeah. I like that sewer gas blowing up there. Let's go.
Go. This is what I voted for, by the way.
I actually did vote for this.
Yeah. We
so
were
here-
talking about before we came on air. We were talking about domestic policy, Sparky and I, and we were talking about how we were hoping that President Trump would do more with domestic policy. This is what I like to see when it comes to domestic policy.
Yeah. And look, I don't want to see America changed. I just want to see what it's supposed to be enforced.
Yeah.
And I think that's not really too much to ask, ladies and gentlemen. It's very simple. They said that you couldn't stop the border crossings. Trump said, okay, bet. And we're going to enforce these laws. And suddenly we get down to 0 people coming across the border. I mean, it didn't take long at all. DC, Trump is not doing anything illegal. He is taking custody over the District of Columbia, which has always been a federal district. There should not be a mayor. That's what the president is.
Correct.
Mayor
And
McTrump can handle DC.
Yeah. And according to that, Trump, if he didn't want to manage it himself, could appoint a acting governor to run the District of Columbia.
Yeah. And honestly, whoever is elected president should be able to appoint.
Yes.
Look, I want 0 voting power in DC because no one should live there.
Correct.
Okay, we don't need to make it a state. No, it is a federal district. That is the way it is set up in the Constitution. That's the way it should be done.
Well, Sparky, they don't care about the Constitution. Did you not just see that new New York Times article that they printed? They need to get rid of the U.S. Senate, need to get rid of the Constitution, and pack the Supreme Court. That's their 3 directives that they're trying to do because they need to start at ground zero to make America better again.
Well, so their goal is power. Their goal isn't
Of
making
course.
anything better. Their goal is just ensuring that they are the ones in power and that they're able to maintain power. And if they want to destroy the Constitution, I hate to break it to them, but they swore an oath and vow to said Constitution. And if they want to destroy it, that is what we like to call insurrection. Last time I checked, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution has a little something to say about that. Yeah, you thought I forgot?
This is also continuing on to the theme of cleaning up DC, cleaning up one of the major cities, obviously the capital of our nation. This is from Eric Daughtry. He says, see it, U.S. National Guard troop patrol outside Union Station and surround areas in Washington, D.C. As a result, reports are emerging that homelessness loitering is way down and people can actually be in the area and feel safe. This is called winning, he says. Let's take a look. We're going to pause the video just for a second, Sparky. But I remember going to Union Square and not feeling safe, or Union Station. I know you didn't feel all that, but someone who hasn't been abroad very much and have to deal with dangerous situations and things like that, having to go into a city that you should, feel somewhat safe, especially being the capital of the country. Yeah, I think that's a big win.
No. See, I hear you, but I do have a problem with this. I don't want to see military personnel preventing these kind of actions. What I want to see is federal police officers doing their job. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate to break this to you, but the National Guard is set up for the defense of the country, not for enforcing laws in a federal.
We're defending it from the homeless.
Yeah. Look, you can get Patrolman Bob to do the exact same thing. I think we are wasting resources by bringing in the National Guard. Look, if we have to do it for a short amount of time, sure. Okay. Let's get people used to the idea we're not going to put up with this crap anymore. Sure, we need more people to do that to begin with. But this should only be a surge. It should only be an initial show of force. And if they have to hire more Capitol Police, they need to hire more Capitol Police. But we don't need to have our men and women in uniform that signed up to defend the country to be clearing homeless camps.
Well, I think that's what it kind of is, what you just mentioned. I think it's the show of force, the surge, if you will, in order to show, hey, this is a big problem. We need to get everyone involved in getting this initial cleanup, and then we can let it go and allow with the resources that we have to maintain that level that we've been able to clear it out with. And President Trump loves to show. He loves to show military might. He loves to show power.
Yeah. That's kind of his thing. He's like, we have the best men and women in uniform, and we're going to show the world just exactly how dominant we are. We're going to get 24-year-olds to fly 32 hours across the world just to bomb Iran, and then we're going to send them home. Yeah, I mean, that's his kind of thing. Yeah, if we're going to bomb another country, yeah, we use those people for that. If we're defending our southern border from the cartels, I am all for that. However, I'm a little against putting them in our nation's capital when we have, Frank, how many cops did we see on January 6th?
Saw quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the park services cops beating a protester inside the Washington Monument.
I do remember that. The mounted officers.
Yeah, they had enough to beat that poor man. He deserved it. But they had enough to beat him. Why don't they have enough to clear the encampments? The problem is, it's not that Trump is doing a bad job here. Okay, that is not my complaint. My complaint is that the cops are not doing their job. Okay,
they're being directed not to do their jobs.
Well, so they should tell their boss,
obviously,
the mayor, to shove it. They got hired to enforce laws that were passed by
their DEI hired chief of police had no idea what the chain of command was.
Yeah. That
isn't it amazing that all these major cities, Washington D.C., New Orleans, L.A., Chicago, probably all have these lady black lesbians.
No.
Lesbians.
Chicago has that black man, who wears the mohawk, the faux hawk deal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Eric, whatever the hell his name is. He's like, this is what black people in charge look like. Like 200 plus shootings happened last weekend. Just saying, that's what strong black leadership looks like. I don't
want any of it. I don't want any strong black leadership.
Yeah.
I don't want the strong black lesbian to protect my city.
Yeah, for shizzle. And I don't really care about the color of your skin. The only thing I actually care about is results. And,
it just seems that those are the ones that are running the cities tend to have the highest crime rates. I'm just saying.
Look, all I know is whoever the hell's running Baltimore, we need to hire less of those people.
I'm not saying that it has anything to do with the color of skin. It just so happens those are the people that are in those positions.
Well, actually, do you know what the most unifying part of all of them are?
What's that?
They have a D behind their name. I'm just saying. Look, I live in Oklahoma City. I live in the largest city by landmass, not by population by any means. We don't have these problems, but our mayor has an R after his. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And you guys have the world champions in basketball too.
We do have the world champions of the NBA. The WNBA doesn't count. We don't have one of those, and no one would care anyway because they like to throw green phallic objects in the court. Yeah, I look at it like this. And Oklahoma City sucks. Okay, I'm not going to pretend like it's some bastion. Okay, I live here because of where I work. That's it. I would never choose to live here. The people are great. The city is okay.
Just like the state.
Yeah. It's place so mediocre. Seriously, the symbol is just okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break this to you, but I'm sad. Why am I sad? Well, look, we've already had one mad lad donating 10 memberships. Oh my goodness. I'd like to thank you so much again for that. But hey, I put my money up. I need you to put some up too. Throw a buck in the bucket. Help the man out. My goodness. Internet isn't free. Just saying.
We're 9 away. We get 9 more super chats. We get bonus time. Talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Hey, you know what?
And we'll talk about it.
We may even convince Frank to open the lines and let you talk to him directly.
You know what? Maybe down the line, maybe I can have Jason show me how to do that, and then we can have some open phone lines.
Oh, gotta love it.
That's why I brought the man in. The dude's a genius when it comes to this kind of behind-the-scenes stuff. I was
Just
like,
nerd.
Jason, I need your help.
Just a nerd.
I need your help. I'm like, hey, Jason, you still have your soundboard? He's like, nah, bro, that was in that old computer that I haven't used in like months.
Yeah. I had to get a new computer. My old one was freezing up on me. So I haven't transferred everything over.
It's because you had all those sounds on there.
I did have a lot of sounds. Oh my God.
So you mentioned something before we started into what we were just talking about the cartels, and President Trump has responded to your inquiry, Jason. Let's go ahead and take a listen to President Trump. Yes, let's go ahead and take a listen.
See what the man has to say.
Our country is being poisoned from within by the drugs and by all of the other crime that's taking place. The drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. In this war, Joe Biden has sided against the United States and with the cartels. They are making more money than they've ever made before, times 10. There's never been anything like it. They're major companies. They're bigger than even some of our biggest companies. Biden's open border policies are a deadly betrayal of our nation. When I am president, it will be the policy of the United States to take down the cartels, just as we took down ISIS and the ISIS caliphate, and just as, unlike the situation we're in today, we had a very strong border, the strongest border, in fact, in the history of our country, and drugs were at a low of 45 years. There's been nothing like what we did just 2 years ago. We will show no mercy on the cartels. Every day, drug traffickers are using the waters of our region to ship their lethal poisons to America, killing so many of our people and ruining families. In addition to restoring strong border security, I will deploy all necessary military assets, including the U.S. Navy, to impose the full naval embargo on the cartels. I did that before, and it worked. What we did was incredible. We will guarantee that the waters of the Western Hemisphere are not used to traffic illicit drugs to our country. Furthermore, I will order the Department of Defense to make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other overt and covert actions to inflict maximum damage on cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations. I will designate the major cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. We will sever their access to global financial systems. I will also work to forge an unprecedented partnership with neighboring governments in our region, just like I did in Mexico. And remember, in Mexico alone, an estimated 100,000 civilians have been tragically murdered or gone missing at the hands of these cartels. The Mexican government, run by a very fine man, the president, is really working hard, but it's not working out. These cartels are vicious and they're violent, and they have Mexico for now stymied. But we have to help Mexico, and we have to stymie the cartels. Either we will get the full cooperation of other governments to stop this menace, or we will expose every bribe, every kickback, every payoff, and every bit of corruption that is allowing the cartels to preserve their brutal reign. And it is indeed brutal. Finally, as I have said before, I will ask Congress to pass legislation ensuring that drug smugglers and human traffickers receive the death penalty. The drug cartels and their allies in the Biden administration have the blood of countless millions on their hands. Millions and millions of families and people are being destroyed. When I'm back in the White House, the drug kingpins and vicious traffickers will never sleep soundly again. We did it once, and we did it better than anybody else. There's never been a better border than we had just 2 years ago. It was strong, it was powerful, and it was respected all over the world. And now we're laughed at all over the world. And we're not going to let that happen much longer. We have to take over. We have to be tough. We have to be smart. We have to be fair. But if we don't do something immediately, our country is gone.
So this is
Our country is being poisoned.
this was the
Wait.
message during the
Yeah,
before
this
coming
is-
back to office.
yeah.
But so let me go ahead and bring us up to date to where we are now. I had to lay the groundwork first.
Okay. I was wondering.
Yeah, I had to lay down the groundwork because this was part of his campaign promises. I wanted to go ahead and bring this back full term to us here. Colin Rugg reports Donald Trump planned to end the drug epidemic in America by declaring war on the drug cartels. We will show no mercy on the cartels. Deploy what? Did I get the right date one on this one? No, I did not. That's my fault. That's my fault. I am
Good
so
job.
sorry.
Good job.
But he has deployed military assets into the Caribbean over the last couple of days. A whole naval division, not division. What would you call that? With just like carrier and
Strike
all
group.
this. Is it strike group?
Mm-hmm.
Strike group has launched a strike group into the Caribbean area. And if Sparky goes in and talks a little bit about making America great again, about that, I'll go ahead and pull that story up because I did have it.
Let's see. I don't want to make America great again. I want to make North America America for once. Okay, look, we're the only country on the North American continent that has the name America in it. Okay, very simple. What do I want, ladies and gentlemen? I want Mexico to become America. If we have to do it through force, because Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, happens to be a cartel sex toy. I mean, yeah, she's definitely a something sleeve of the cartel. Trump asked Claudia Sheinbaum, "Hey, we'd like to do some military operations against the cartel," and she goes, "Absolutely not." What I want to see is I want to see Trump go, "We were just being polite. We're going to do it anyway." Why? Because when I was a U.S. service member, I raised my right hand and I swore to uphold and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And what did they do? They sent me to do corporate wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, Kosovo. I will tell you straight up, I felt like I was being improperly used, okay, because I was not defending America. Sure, after 9/11, for the first 2 months when we went in Afghanistan, that was a righteous war. But everything after that was not so righteous because now we were sitting there fighting to get someone who wasn't there anymore. We knew he was gone already. The reality is, if we were to invade Mexico tomorrow, that would actually be something in defense of Americans. Those of you who've seen some of my stuff, you probably know I'm not really all that anti-drug. Hey, if you want to do drugs, do it. I don't care. It's not any of my business. However, these cartels are lacing, these drugs with fentanyl. Do you know where fentanyl comes from, Frank? Do you know who the the biggest distributor of fentanyl is in the world?
Is it Mexico?
It's China.
China.
China sends all the fentanyl through Mexico. Okay, they are killing Americans to the tune of over 100,000 a year. If that isn't a declaration of war, I don't know what is, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, we're talking about the junkies, the flunkies. We're talking about the losers of the world. But you know what? There are losers, and we don't want them dying unnecessarily. We can help them. And the way we help them is we destroy the cartels. I'm not one to bang the war drum for much. You know, I've said we need to stay out of Ukraine. I've said we need to stay out of Israel. Said we need to get out of the Middle East. And for the most part, Trump has kind of been doing that. I'm kind of okay with that. However, I do have an issue that we've been invaded through our southern border. Now we are enforcing the border policies, but the drugs are still coming in. They're coming in through the air. They're coming in through the sea. That's very simple. We have a U.S. Navy. We have a U.S. Air Force. We can handle that. We absolutely can, and we should. And we should be dropping bombs on all the cartels. Bombs over Baghdad? No, bombs over Sinaloa. Let's go.
Bombs over Baghdad. That was a song, I think.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I can't find it now. And it makes me very angry. I thought I had put it to the side, and I've been looking all over all my bookmarks that I put in, and I cannot find it at the moment. I'll keep looking. Maybe I'll find it by the end of the stream, and we'll come back to it. But, you know, it's still reasons to say, as you mentioned, that it is something that we need to be focused on. And I'm all for ensuring that Mexico gets the cartels under control, because it is a direct threat to the United States. It's a direct threat to its people in this country. And so by doing that, that will actually make America great.
Yes.
America safe. And it's wild to me, any politician who would be against that, just for the sake of, because Orange Man bad. And that Orange Man bad is so overused, but it's so true at the same time.
But he's bad, Frank.
He's so bad.
Haven't you heard? He's so bad.
He's so bad.
Oh my God.
But it's things like this that we see with the Trump administration. This is a good move in the domestic policy area, a campaign promise that I will say, Jason, that kind of went under the radar for the most part. It wasn't the most prominent campaign promise during the times on the trail and stuff like that. And I'm sure it got brought up from time to time, but it wasn't.
It didn't get brought to the forefront because it is literally going to be the actions that have to be taken will be considered an open act of war against a sovereign country.
Mm-hmm.
And no one wants to vote for that.
Right.
But Trump talked about this, and this was one of the few times I'm like, yes, if we have to go to war for this, I am all for it. I'm sick and tired of when I go to the largest cities in America and I see people slung over, drugged out, that isn't living. They're just existing. And I understand, with me being quite pro-drug, if you want to do drugs, I don't care. It's not my business. Just as long as you're not harming anyone else, I could not care less. But when they have something that they put in the drug to help save them a couple of dollars on the drug, they throw that fentanyl stuff in there, a tiny little grain can kill multiple people. Let's be honest. George Kirby was not killed by the police. He died from a fentanyl overdose. And in the memory of George Kirby, patron saint of fentanyl, we must stop the cartels.
Must stop the cartels. For sure. And just a real quick, just kind of circle back and just finish off our time in D.C. I just wanted to bring a couple stats up here real quick that what we've seen so far from the Trump administration been able to do in D.C. since they've taken over kind of the reins of wrangling in, the lawlessness that's been taking place in the city. More than 240 arrests, 38 firearms seized in Trump's D.C. crackdown. The total number of arrests since President Trump federalized the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department and sent federal troops and agents onto the streets of our nation's capital less than 1 week ago has surpassed 240. 25 more homeless encampments were also removed on Friday. The Gateway Pundit reported that 75 encampments were already bulldozed by federal officials by Friday afternoon. The Gateway Pundit reported that FBI Director Kash Patel said on Thursday that 45 arrests were made, 29 of which were immigration related and 16 tied to violent crime surge. So there are dangerous people that are being taken off the streets in DC through this. And as long as, I think he has 30 days with the way it was the executive order he drew up or whatever to have control of the Metropolitan Police Department there. But 30 days is a long time. And I think we'll see these numbers continue to rise and we'll see crime continue to trickle down. The only question is, will the DC people that live there receive it with open arms? What do you think?
I've seen some man on the street interviews with some people out there, and especially in the hood areas, as they like to call it, you see people going, yes, please clean up our streets. Let's get this rabble away. Because look, people want to live in peace. They really do. There's always a few bad apples that are going to try to spoil it all for everybody, and they're going to act out. And a lot of people, I hate to say this, are kind of weak, and they don't want to stand up for themselves. So what do? Not my business. Just move on. Hope the stray bullets don't hit them. Okay. America should not be that way. America should be like, no, not in my backyard. When they came into my neighborhood to protest after when the George Floyd riots were going on, I walked out with my weapon and I said, you're not welcome here. Just kind of like I did the Antifa guy that night before January 6th. They called the cops and they said, they're not letting us protest in this neighborhood. I said, okay. And he has a gun. Okay. Well, that's perfectly legal here in the great state of Oklahoma. What do you want us to do? We want you to tell them to stop. No, you should probably leave because we're not sending anybody. That's the way America should be. You should be able to look at punk thugs and say, you're not welcome here.
Keep on moving.
Step off. And they go, oh, okay. You know, the problem in America is not just the police not enforcing the laws. And there's a myriad of reasons why they don't enforce laws. Primarily, it's because the mayors of these cities are telling them not to enforce them.
The police chiefs.
They should stand up to them and go, hate to break this to you, but elected officials actually passed these laws. We're here to enforce them.
Or the DA refuses to press charges.
And that is even more sinister.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It is time for Americans to stand up. What does that look like? It's simple. Standing on principle.
Making
Basically
politicians afraid again.
Yes. Tell them, you're not welcome here. We don't want you here. It's very simple. And the message that is being pushed forward with Trump taking over DC is, you're not welcome here anymore. We don't want your lawlessness. We don't want your drug use. When diplomats come to America, they're not coming to the great city of Oklahoma City. You know, they're not going to hang out in Orlando, Florida. They definitely are going to Seattle, frickin' Washington. They go to DC because that's where the center of power is. And if you cannot walk safely in the capital of our own nation, then what kind of nation are we?
Exactly. And because a lot of stuff is related to elected officials, as we were just talking about, and we know the fraud issues that we have in our voting systems where politicians are elected because of numerous different reasons of mail-in ballots that go one way. It reminds me, Jason, if you remember the Minnesota election, the senator, who was that? It was a comedian, Al Franken. Remember him winning that election? He was losing that election,
Mhm.
and it was really close still. And so they had to go to recounts. And then all of a sudden, they found a bunch of ballots in a back inside the trunk of a car sitting in a parking lot. And they're like, oh, look, we found just enough ballots to get him across the finish line.
It's amazing
And
how
the-
that works.
And the Republican challenger, or the candidate that was running, didn't even challenge it. He was like, "Oh, I guess they found the ballots," you know.
Well, I
And-
mean, so this last election, there's been multiple people prosecuted on voter fraud, and there are people who have actually gone to jail for it, mostly in Texas, if I
Mhm.
remember right. Oh, I didn't even pay attention. Go ahead, continue.
yes. So on that thread, we have 15 Democrats arrested for election fraud, and guess what? They pleaded not guilty, of course, because that's what you plead. 9 Democrat officials pleaded not guilty this week of felony election fraud charges in one of the most significant ballot harvesting cases in recent Texas history. You were right about the state. The
Mhm.
charges were brought by Attorney General Ken Paxton after a 2-year investigation that uncovered what prosecutors describe as an organized scheme to manipulate mail-in ballots in rural South Texas. 6 of the defendants appeared in person at the Parcell courtroom on Wednesday, while 3 others joined remotely through Zoom. Among those charged, we don't need to go through all these names, but it doesn't matter because this is the problem, Sparky. I'm glad that this is happening, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Is the damage has already been done, right? So you're dealing with the damage that's already been done. What needs to happen, in my opinion, and you might agree with me on this, Sparky, is that whoever they were running against, if the Democrat won in that case, then guess what? They're going to go ahead and reverse the results of that election and give the person who lost the win in that area.
No, I would disagree.
Okay, I knew you would.
I would say they need to vacate the office. They
Maybe
should vacate the office and then have a special election.
Yes.
Because look,
monitored by state
heavily
officials.
monitored. And look, mail-in ballots are all fraudulent. Every last one of them.
Yeah.
If you don't vote on voting day, it's fraudulent in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Early voting needs to
You
be
know
taken out of.
You know what Russian President Putin said, right? He said, "We're the only country that does it."
Yes.
We're the only country that does it. That's just insane. That is insane. That always has been a stance of mine. I've always been a very strong advocate of voting on election day. Rarely I would utilize the vote early. Sometimes for whatever reason I would do it, but the majority of the times I've voted in my life, it's been on election day because I feel, something about that.
I've done
it
absentee
means
ballots when I was overseas, but
those are different though.
yeah.
Right.
And so when I was serving, I grew up in Mississippi. When I, was stationed here in Oklahoma, I still voted for Mississippi. So I voted absentee ballots. Things like that. I think those are fine. But I think, when we have John down the road, well, he does mail-in ballots because, he just doesn't want to go and stand in line. I don't think that's a good reason.
It's not really even standing in line. Most of my experiences, there's been one time in all the times I've ever voted. I've voted in every election since I've been 18 years old. There's only been one time. It was the 2004 election. George W. Bush and John Kerry was my precincts because I waited to the last minute to get there because I was coming in from work. It was a long line.
Yeah.
And I was still allowed to vote because I was there prior to the cutoff time. And that was the only time I've ever had to wait in a long line to vote in person.
Mm.
I don't know about your experiences. I'm just speaking to mine.
I've had to wait in line a couple of times, but
what's the average wait?
5-10 minutes. It's not.
Do you need snacks and water to stand in line?
No. Didn't even need a porta potty. It's amazing. And me and you, we stayed in line. We stayed in line for that rally in Ocala God, we were there from like 10 o'clock in the morning until like 3 p.m.
We did the whole line. Remember, we started interviewing the entire line, and we came back and re-interviewed everybody.
But not once did we go to the porta potty or anything like that. We were
No.
fine until we made it in. Then we went and did our business as we had to. So I mean, look, grown adults can hold it for a little bit.
They can,
It's
or
been
you
known to
can just
happen.
sit to Joe Biden and wear the diaper.
Yeah. Wow, you're really concentrating. Nope, just peeing.
Just peeing. It's warm. It's just warm. So, guys, real quick, we're at the 1 hour mark. I just wanted to go ahead and remind everybody that we do have a goal set for the channel for tonight to reach 10 super chats. We already have one in, and we've already had someone sub. Is that what it's called?
Gift subs.
Gift subs.
Gift
10
subs. Yeah.
subs. 10
Amazing.
subs for the channel. That was amazing. That was awesome. Thank you so much again to Fatboy Gaming. And so 9 more super chats. We'll go ahead and extend this conversation for an additional 30 minutes. We still have an hour on the goal right now. So you still have an hour on the goal that we can go ahead and hit that, continue to help the channel continue to function. Because that's what it's going to take to be able to continue to do things like this, because I love doing this, but it is a job, just like many of us. I'm just looking to you. If you can't do it great. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and share it.
Yeah, and here's the deal. So for those of you who are not in the game, ad revenue is not a thing. I mean, you get some, but for streams especially, it's rough. It's rough. Your favorite creators are out here putting content out on almost a daily basis. They're not doing that out of love of the game, I assure you. They're doing it for money. Okay, it's because it is a way they make their living. I don't do this for a living. I don't even do this for a hobby. I do this as a favor to a friend who's like, hey man, it's hard doing these streams by myself, and it is. So I'll be more than happy to be his sounding board, but I need you to be our sounding board as the community and help fund this man's internet, for Christ's sakes. Do you know how much it costs? Oh my God. And if you really want to help keep this show above water, help us pay for that internet.
That's right. You could also help with membership as well. We're 19 to the goal of 50. So, and that was 10 of those for one guy.
Amazing.
Amazing. So we'll go ahead and continue here with this story coming out of a Gateway Pundit. I haven't had a chance to really talk to you about this, Jason, about this whole investigation into past grievances that obviously impacted the country tremendously. We know how much damage the Russiagate did to the first administration in ways that it slowed it down in many aspects and prevented it from moving the way it should probably have moved. And of course, that all rolled into the 2020 election. And I think all of those things were connected because they were all the same people behind that entire thing. So right now you have someone like Tulsi Gabbard, who has been releasing this information saying, hey, look, we have direct evidence of Hillary Clinton, James Clapper, John Brennan, Barack Obama, others who were all colluding together to game the system in order to prevent the new administration coming in from actually being able to function at all. That would, in a way that has never been done before in this country. And so as we start seeing these things roll out, one of the biggest things I've said over the course of the last couple months is to tell people to kind of guard against these guys are going to prison. Because there's a lot of content creators out there that are saying these guys are going to go to prison. What's your thoughts?
They should go to prison.
They should.
They won't go to prison, and this is why. Because both sides do it. Look, politics is a dirty game. Here's the reality. The things that have happened against the Trump administration, part one and now part two, are all happening from the same people. Okay. It's not, the names change. Okay. Barack Obama. Oh yeah, Barack Obama, he was such a great president. He did a whole lot of sabotage for the Trump administration. So did Hillary Clinton. So did Bill Clinton. You know, it's really one name. It's Democrats. It's DNC. If you haven't been paying attention, okay, Trump has been under illegal assault for what, past 3 years?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then he gets in office. And what do? The ACLU, the legal arm of the Democrat National Committee, is constantly going to these unelected, black-robed judges and saying, he's trying to deport people. We should stop that. And the judges go, okay. And they put an injunction on a president that they really have no right to do. Supreme Court has already shown us on multiple occasions, you're stepping beyond your powers. You should probably stop doing this, judge. And they go, we're going to do it this way then. And they just keep, it is the Democrats in general who are constantly fighting. And Trump is playing nice. Trump shouldn't play nice. Trump should go Andrew Jackson on that ass and be like, I'm sorry, judge, but what you said, we can't stomach it. I was elected president. I won all 7 swing states. What did you win? You were brought forward. Someone just pulled your name from a hat and said, okay, you're a judge. You were appointed. No one voted for you. Everyone voted for me. I won the popular vote. So if he actually did that and said, I'm not going to follow the BS that you're saying, they would, of course, have to impeach him. And that would be what they're going to do. That's what the Democrats would be doing immediately. We've got to impeach him. He's not following the rule of the law. Hate to break it to you. Judges interpret law. They don't write law. They don't make law. And we have tyrannical judiciary going on right now. It is disgusting. You want to know what my thoughts are on the Trump administration? Weak. Because Donald J. Trump, who's won all 7 swing states, let's not forget, he keeps on reminding us, he won the popular vote. I shut down the border. Yes, you did. But you're allowing unelected judges to determine what you can do in your administration that was voted on by the people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ridiculous. The FBI, unless they actually prosecute these people, I don't care. Oh, we found 19 Clinton Foundation bank accounts. Who cares? What are you going to do about it? You know, all I hear is talk and no walk.
That's at the point where I've been with this part of the administration, this part of it, talking about, you know, if we're going to bring up these past crimes, if we're going to bring up the probes into the Russiagate, we're going to bring in these people and we're going to talk a big game because there's been a big game that's been talked already. I want to see people handcuffed and arrested at this point, because if not, then it's why are we even talking about it anymore?
Yeah.
At that point. Yeah, we know. We've documented this for the last 6 years. We've documented Crossfire Hurricane. We documented the insurance policy. We documented the Russia probe and all of that stuff. We, as a community of streamers, have done this.
Yes.
We know. All we've been asking for is, are you guys going to do something about it? Outside of just saying, hey, look, hey, we're investigating or we're launching a congressional inquiry into this. No, that's not good enough anymore. I'm at the point, and I'm sure many of you guys, maybe many Americans are, it's like, if we're going to talk about the people that have broken laws and participate in criminality, and we're not going to do anything about it, then what's the point of even talking about it?
Look, they put Tulsi Gabbard on a no-fly list. Tulsi Gabbard, who was at the time a captain in the National Guard.
And a Democrat.
They put her on a no-fly list because they claimed that she was doing Russian propaganda. No. And now she's a DNI and she is declassifying all this stuff and pointing this stuff out. Cool story, Tulsi. What is Cash saying about it? Is he pressing charges?
It's
because If Pam Bondi and Kash Patel aren't going to do anything about it, who cares? It absolutely means nothing, because all you're doing is pointing to the same crap that we know has been happening behind the walls that we can't see in those dark, smoky rooms. All talk, no walk. Okay, it's time to get stepping, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it is. It's been past the point, right? We talked about what they've done to President Trump. You talked about the last 3.5 years of him being forced to defend himself in the court of law under all of these frivolous investigations into him. And at the first opportunity to, pay it back, it's been very weak response. If President Trump, I've mentioned this before, if President Trump was the guy that the Democrats make him out to be, I'd be way more ecstatic.
Yeah.
I would be way more ecstatic.
I wish he was a quarter of what they claimed he was.
Jesse Kelly. I love Jesse Kelly. He talks about, he's like, Trump's the strong man that the Democrats claim he is. He's like nothing but like a puppy dog. He's like, but we will get that strong man. And it's not going to be, they're not going to like what they get.
Yeah.
Because those no king protests will be shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah. I
have friends on Facebook that are obviously lefties that, we went to high school together or whatever, and I just haven't defriended them. I don't interact with them. But they're like, oh, we're resisting no kings. I think I responded on one of them. I said, if it was if we had a king, you would not be posting that's a no king because you'd be in prison.
Yeah. Prison if you're lucky.
Prison if you're lucky. I just watched this documentary about Saddam Hussein when he came into power. And he came into power and he had this big rally, right? And he comes up and he's smoking a cigar and he says, there's been an attempt on my life by a saboteur inside of all these loyalists that were in there. And he's like, I'm going to read names. And I want you, when I read your name, I want you to recite the party line. And so they do that. And this guy, he gets up and he's like shaking visibly, obviously. And he's like, he's like, I didn't do anything wrong. He's like, just recite the line. And he recites the line. And then they escort him out of the thing. All those guys that got escorted out got show trialed and then were executed later.
Yeah.
That is what they tried to make Trump out to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like that. Nothing like that. Because you're allowed to talk like that.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, we don't know the motives of the shooter in Nashville. They're still protecting that troon. They're still protecting the person who tried to assassinate the sitting president of America.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any information on that young man who somehow flew a drone and everything else in Pennsylvania.
Butler,
he died.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
And what about the Ukraine crazy? Who set up at the golf course? What's going on with him?
These guys been like thrown. That guy's been like thrown into a hole. Nobody's ever hear about him again.
It's amazing. No one cares. Absolutely, no one cares. Look, they found these accounts. Who cares? Do something. Maybe I'll care then.
Yeah, maybe I'll care.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get excited. Maybe I'll make some T-shirts.
Yeah, but until then, Barack Obama was the first African American president of the United States. Emphasis on African because he damn sure wasn't American. And there we go. He's obviously not a traitor because he hasn't been prosecuted, hasn't even been charged. No.
And that really irks me. Not that he hasn't been charged. That irks me too. But what irks me is that we now hold the levers of power and we sit on our hands. We're like, well, we're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to do anything. We're going to talk about it.
Well, that's what the Republicans.
Jim Jordan's going to fundraise off it. He's going to write a strongly worded letter to the DOJ about what's going on, and nothing's going to happen. Jim Jordan's going to have a couple television snapshots, and he's going to do a couple interviews on Fox News with Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity's going to be wearing his little skull badge. He's like, "Oh yeah, tonight I'm going to give you why blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
Bro, I haven't watched Sean Hannity in probably like 10 years at this point.
Mike Dawson says the left believes they have the moral high ground. They do. They definitely do, because no one's challenging them.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless we challenge them, they can claim the moral high ground and be correct.
Mm-hmm.
The point of it is, America used to be a belligerent and quite open country, and we would tell people, "No, you're wrong." Dare I say, McCarthy was right. Okay, we got to hunt down the commies. We need to kick them out of our country. You know, the more I read up on him, the better. The more I like him.
Outside of cross-dressing.
No. That wasn't. No. McCarthy.
McCarthy?
No, that was the
J.D.
FBI guy. Yeah, that was
Hoover. I knew it was one of them.
But yeah, when I see what America was, and look, I've already mentioned him once, but the great president, Andrew Jackson, most hardcore thing he ever did wasn't enact the Indian Removal Act, which caused the Trail of Tears, which some people say is a stain on America. I hate to break it to you. It was the people that voted in the representatives that made that act get passed. That is a great stain on America. The great stain on America is the fact that we have people who are openly insurrecting this country on a daily basis, and we just let them do it. I'm sick of it.
And speaking of our Republican leadership letting us down, Texas, what happened to you guys? I thought you guys were supposed to be like the tough state, the state that doesn't take anything from liberals or Democrats. You guys are
Have you been to Austin? Have you been to Austin?
No, the furthest I've been into Texas is Dallas.
Yeah. You were in Dallas just a month and a half ago? Yeah.
A couple months
I
ago.
wish you would have told me. I would have driven down.
That would have been fun. But seriously though, Texas, come on, man. You have all this lore that you guys are tough or you don't take crap and we're going to succeed. And you let a bunch of Democrats hold you guys hostage after your governor rolls up and says, "Yo, we're going to arrest these Democrats that left the state, and we're going to vacate their seats." And none of it happens. It's a bunch of half measures. And what I'm talking about right now is the special session that Governor Abbott called to address redistricting the state and some other initiatives that we're looking for. And not only that, the entire redistricting took out all the Democrat seats. And Democrats said they would come back if they were to go ahead and, give them a seat back or whatever. And the Republican House said, yeah, we'll do that. Again, let's take a listen to this dude here. This is a House member from the Texas Assembly.
Howdy, neighbors. Brian Harrison here, walking out of the Capitol here in Austin with just a quick update. Just walked off the floor, and guys, it's official. The first special session is over. The Democrats have won. They were able to thwart the Republican priorities, every single one of them. That includes redistricting, that includes property tax relief. And because of the weak, effectively non-response, I would argue assistance of the supposedly Republican leadership, in particular in the Texas House, the Democrats have allowed them to do something even bigger than just thwarting the items that were on the agenda for special session. They have been able to move around the country freely without arrests to galvanize national public support against our very urgently needed redistricting efforts. And so the bottom line is this: the Democrats have won. They wiped the floor in fact, with the Republican elected leadership in the state of Texas, who has exacted exactly 0 punishments on even a single one of these rogue Democrats, despite all the promises to vacate their seats and arrest them. There have been 0 Democrats with their seats vacated. There have been 0 Democrats arrested. Not one Democrat's been pulled off a single committee. Not one Democrat committee chairman, yes, Democrats chair committees in Texas, has lost their chairmanships. Not one Democrat has had their seniority taken off. Not one Democrat has had the governor, speaker, or lieutenant governor pledge to kill their legislation. Guys, I'm sorry. You deserve and you demand results and actions. You elected President Trump in a 14-point landslide. You want bold Republican leadership. You deserve bold Republican leadership, but you are not getting that. You are getting weak fecklessness, and I'm sick and tired of Texas Democrats fighting harder for the future of our state and our nation than Texas Republicans. So, very bad update. Special session 1 is in the tank. We'll probably have another special session called today, and I will keep you posted. I wish I had a better update, but I'll keep you informed. It's an honor to fight for your freedom and liberty. God bless you. God bless the great state of Texas.
There you go, Sparky. React.
Meh.
Well,
what?
He's right, though.
Yeah. Look, and no, he's wrong. The Democrats did not fight. They literally did. They
fled.
They fled. Okay.
In that sense, they did fight, though, in their worldview, because they were able to stop the session.
Well, it's because what they should do. Okay.
And by the way, I just like to say, where's Kash Patel? Because he's the one that came out and said they were going to hunt down the Democrats and bring them back.
That's not his role. That's not his role.
Dude,
okay,
he's the one that he opened. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there, Jason. Is that we have these guys, people like Pam Bondi. It's on my desk. Kash Patel, we're going to go out and hunt them down. They're not podcast hosts anymore.
Yeah,
you can't say that and then not follow through, because it leads to people saying, dude, are you going to do anything about this?
Well, so here's the deal. Ken Paxton, who is running for
governor, right?
No, he's running for Senate. Yeah. He's trying to take Corwin's spot. Ken Paxton has done a lot of big talk, and he's actually done a little bit of walking here and there. But Ken Paxton is the AG of the state. He could have literally filed for an arrest warrant for each one of them, but he didn't do it. Okay, Hot Wheels, Greg Abbott, I don't expect him to stand for anything because he's paralyzed from the waist down, but he could roll up on a mug. He could actually do something.
Dude rolled out, man. He just didn't roll up.
Yeah. I hear he's a big Limp Bizkit fan. Keep rolling. What? But it's God, that is low. That is low hanging fruit.
We said we were going to do that, Jason.
No. I warned you. I warned you that it would be easy to do. But the deal is, the Republican Party, if you want respect, you've got to actually enact the things that you say you're going to. I don't like Democrat policies, but I respect the Democrats because at least they do what they say they're going to do.
Of course.
I mean,
they said they were going to impeach Trump. What did they do?
They impeached him twice.
They said they were going to arrest Trump. What did they do?
Yeah. Look.
And I know so many people on the channel have told me, well, Frank, they just got to make sure they dot their T's or dot their I's and cross their T's, and that's why we haven't seen anything. I said Democrats didn't wait, and they did it without crossing their I's and dotting their T's. They didn't care. It's the optics of power.
Look, the Democrats go overboard with their show of power. The Republicans are underwhelming with their lack of anything.
I wish we overshowed our power.
I just wish we would use the power.
At that point now, I think I mentioned this to you off air. I'm at that point where I don't care if leftists get banned off of social media. I'm not advocating for their free speech anymore. I'm not advocating for them to stay on air. I want them off. I want them gone. I will advocate for them to be kicked off. That's where I'm at. That's the point that this has pushed me to.
Well, see, I don't want them kicked off of social media. I want them on social media. I want them unfettered. Okay, look, nothing makes me happier than to see Hassan Hassan Piker, talking all the dumb crap that he does, because at least he's not lying about it. Okay. I would rather have people be truthful about what they actually think. The opinions that I espouse are not popular. They aren't. I'll admit that, because I say some pretty crazy stuff. I want to make Mexico America. I want to make Panama America. I want to make North America America. I want to take over Canada. I want to take over Cuba. Why? Because I like good cigars. Okay. And I don't know if you've been to Cuba. It's nice. Okay. The food is great, and big booty Latinas are a thing. Okay. I love them. Look, all we'd have to do is just teach them all English. Okay. It'd be great. Okay. Cuba is a wonderful place. The Castros, not so much, but Cuba, Cubans. Look, some of the most base people in the state of Florida
are Cubans.
Okay. The only thing that makes South Florida so horrible is Miami and the Keys. Let's be honest. You got rid of Miami and the Keys, Florida would be pretty awesome. But the great state of Texas, the freedom state of Texas, as they like to claim, they lag their top hat, aka Oklahoma, in almost everything.
Every metric you look at, man.
Yes, we don't allow, there are no more transitions for children here in the great state of Oklahoma. We had constitutional carry a year and a half before Texas even dreamed of it. How's Florida doing with that? Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, Ron DeSantimonious. Just saying. Look, Texas talks big. They say everything is bigger in Texas. It really isn't. I've went there. I've measured things. They weren't any bigger than they were in other states. I'm just saying.
Their talk's big.
Yeah, their talk's big. Their talk is definitely
just like the Cowboys. It's our year this year.
No one says that.
They do. They do all the time. Every Cowboy fan I've ever met, it's our year.
Oh.
I don't mean to rag on Texas as much as I am right now, but seriously, your officials are the ones that made these claims. Your officials are the ones that said, we're going to arrest them. We're going to vacate their seats. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. And I mentioned they're half measures. If you don't do anything about it, they're going to do it again.
Hey, do me a favor. Highlight Redeem Patriot. There's a time to talk. Look at that. Look at that. He gets it. He gets it. That's real. Okay. The problem with the Republican Party, and I vote Republican, is they do a lot of this, but they don't do any of this. Okay. They got to walk. They got to, the time to talk is over. Be like Nike. Just do it. Just move forward. Oh, but the optics. Oh my God. They may call us fascist. Who cares? You've been called a fascist for the past 10, 12 years.
You might still be a fascist now. You've been called it for so long. Just embrace it.
And if you knew, if anyone knew what fascism actually was, they'd be like, well, no. I mean, I've got books on it. I've read them. Like, no, nothing we're seeing is fascist. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the trains run on time, but hey, that's Italian fascism. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm not surprised at all. Oh, Texas talked a big talk and they didn't do anything. It sounds like the Cowboys. It sounds like the Houston Texans. It sounds like almost every team except for the Stros. The Stros are goated. That's because I don't know. I don't know why, but hey, I'll go watch them play.
Yeah,
San Diego's still my team though.
So Texas, again, do something already, will you? You guys are like that meme, like the guy poking Texas with the stick. Do something. Do something.
Come on, do something.
Or just quit talking.
Do a fascism. Let's go.
Yeah. Or just quit talking. Hey, we got JJR over on Rumble representing. He says, I made it from mods on Rumble and pilled. Howdy, Frank and guest. Howdy, JJR. Yeah.
Good to see you, JJ.
Do you know JJ?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But good to see you nonetheless. No.
Good to see you nonetheless. Yes.
Thank you. Just being welcoming, man.
And we have a half hour left, guys. A half hour left on the goal setting. We are 9 away. 9 away. Hey, Rumble, you guys can participate in this too. I will count those toward our goal. Even though they don't show up on the YouTube side, they are still counting toward the goal. If we can hit the 10 super chats, or 9, we got 9. If we hit the 9 super chats, we will extend the stream for an additional 30 minutes, talk about whatever topic you guys want to talk about. And we'll finish off the stream talking about what you guys want to talk about.
Let's up those numbers.
Yeah. And in the future, we'll have the call-in feature once Jason shows me how to do all that stuff.
You already know how to do it, Frank.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably do.
How do you think I got in the call? It's the exact same way. You just throw it in the chat.
You
But
just
hey.
throw it in the chat. And anybody that shows up, then, right?
Yep. You
Open
just
call.
You just put that. You just put the.
Oh, we
you
could
just
do
put-
that.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah. I
Oh,
told
that's
you.
a great idea, Sparky.
Yeah.
Why did I not think of that?
But you know what? Unless you don't pay, we want the money. If you don't want to give us the money, we don't want to hear you talk.
You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. It would be a open line, like Open Line Friday. What was that? Was that Rush Limbaugh? Open Line Friday?
Yeah.
I miss Limbaugh.
Yeah, he was a very good broadcaster, man.
He was.
I don't even know who took over for him.
It was the sports people. What's their name? Clay Travis? Clay Travis and Buck
Buck Sexton.
Buck Sexton, yeah.
Oh God, Buck Sexton. Oh, his head's too big for his body.
It is. I remember he would fill in for Rush from time to time, and I was always let down whenever I heard Buck. I was like, it's Buck.
Yeah.
His presence on the mic was obviously not the same as Rush. Rush was a special talent, obviously, but it was that big of a difference. It's like you turned in and you heard Buck, and you're like,
Have you ever seen Buck Sexton?
I have.
His head is literally too big for his body.
His hairstyle, it's kind of like Matt Gates' hairstyle. It's like really big.
I said the same thing about Matt Gates. Remember when we
did we see him?
Yeah, at the Ocala rally, I fist bumped him.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of him, and I'm like, his head's too big for his body. And you're like, no, it isn't. And then you looked, you went, oh, yeah, it is. it's the hair. It is.
It is the hair.
Yeah.
It's just that slick back hair, and it poofs up after a while.
Yeah.
It makes it look big. But yeah, for sure. I mean, Buck Sexton, I'm sure he's a great guy, but man, it's just not the same. I haven't listened to the Rush Limbaugh show. Obviously, it's not the same, obviously. But I have not listened to Clay Travis and Buck since Rush passed away. So I just haven't had a desire to.
And if I want normie stuff, I'll listen to Glenn Beck, but I don't want normie stuff. I'm bored with that stuff.
I don't even listen to Glenn Beck. I tend to listen to Jesse Kelly if I want normie stuff.
Yeah. Glenn
and
Beck.
And Jesse Kelly, he pushes the normies a little bit closer to the edge than the other guys do. So that's why I appreciate him a little bit more, because he's willing to push them to that a little bit closer, guys. Hey, I'm going to make you guys feel uncomfortable with some of these things I'm about to tell you guys.
Well, so it's funny. So my mom loves Glenn Beck, and I said, why don't you just spam watch Fox News? That's all Glenn Beck is. It's Fox News with Stu. Stu is like the only redeeming factor of Glenn Beck. But
probably
you can guess, you can pick out what Glenn Beck is going to talk about 9 times out of 10 just by watching Fox and Friends in the morning. It is so sad.
With Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah.
I really can't stand him. I don't like him.
I want actual raw opinions, and that's what you got with Rush. Rush had some actual great insight and things like that, and that's why shows like this you get raw, unedited opinions, and that's what makes them a little special, makes them a little different. That's why I'm happy to be here with Frank, because Frank will let me say some of the crazy stuff.
I do. And there was a time when Jason would fill in completely for this entire show.
Yeah.
He was the fill-in when I couldn't make a show. I would call him up and say, "Yo, Jason, can you cover for me?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And he had his own little intro and everything that would come in, and he would cover. He would talk about whatever. I gave him pretty much a full leash to do whatever he wanted to cover. He kind of knew the ground rules as far as what not to touch. But for anything out, he was on it. It was like Buck filling in for Rush.
Yeah. Same disappointment was in the audience too.
It was. Oh man.
Oh, not Sparky. Oh,
Actually have it. Hold on. Let me play it. This was the intro for it. We're not going anywhere. It's 12 seconds. This is what would play when Sparky or when Jason would fill in. Take a listen.
Let's flip a coin.
Really? Oh man.
Yep.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I loved it.
Hey, I knew I wasn't the attraction. So I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, there we go. Koala buds. That's accurate. Yeah.
Just call you Buck Sexton from here on out.
God, I wish. I mean, he was a
you have that hair going, man.
He was a CIA guy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he was. He was former Intel.
Yeah, he was an analyst. He wasn't a spook though.
Nah, they were all analysts.
Yeah.
So I got this other story here, go way back to our earlier conversation. I was talking about how Democrats were that New York Times article I mentioned earlier. So here's that article. Let me go ahead and put it up on the screen for us to take a look at. New York Times have called for insurrection and the destruction of the Constitution twice in 48 hours. Of course they have. Why would they not? Is there something in the water at the New York Times? Over the course of the last 48 hours, the supposed paper of record has advocated for a military coup against Trump and called for the abolishment of the U.S. Senate and the Electoral College and packed the U.S. Supreme Court. There are people who claim to want to save democracy. Really. The column by two members of the Obama administration was published yesterday, and this is what it was. We used to think the military would stand up to Trump. We were wrong. And what was the other one? Here it is. Abolish the Senate, end the Electoral College, and pack the court. Why the left can't win without a new constitution. There you go, Sparky or Jason. There you go. That is what they're calling for out loud, and they have been for a while. They've called for the abolishment of the Electoral College. They've actually taken steps to do compact Electoral College voting as far as if whoever the popular. It's funny. They did that whole compact thing. So if it had been enacted, President Trump would have won California too.
I look at it like this.
I'm just saying.
If you want to end
their whole system that they had set up, and then Trump won the popular vote, and they're like, "Oh crap!"
If you want to end the Electoral College, there's a way to do that. It's called a constitutional convention. We've been calling for one for 35 plus years. Just do it. We'll talk about it then. You want to pack the court? Absolutely. You know what? Go ahead and do it, Trump. Put 35 judges on the Supreme Court right now, all red. I am sick of it. Abolish the Senate? No. Abolish the people voting for the Senate.
Yes.
Abolish the 17th Amendment.
The 17th.
Abolish. I think it's the 17th. Yeah. Whichever one gave the people voting for the Senate. No. Let's make state politics great again.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do that by doing the constitutional thing and allowing the state houses elect their senators.
Because that way the state houses then have a direct representation in the Senate.
Yes.
To advocate for the state.
This is the problem with America.
Because we
do
would have
not-
we would have an overwhelming amount of
senators.
in
Yes.
the U.S. Senate.
Yes, the majority of the states are
Republican
controlled. Here's the deal. I'm sick and tired of the Republican and Democrat game. I really am. I would rather say, you know what? I don't care about this. We need an actual party. We need an actual third party. We don't need the libertarians. I hate those people.
Oh, what was Elon's party called? That he was
the America Party.
The America Party.
Yeah. We're going to have a South African start a new party. We're going to call it the American Party, guys. Come on. Look, I want a new party. I want an actual party I can get behind, something that believes the things that I believe. Republicans, I'll tell you, and I'm shitting on Republicans. I'm sorry, Frank. I shouldn't have said that. I'm pooping on Republicans a lot. They tell you a lot of nice things. Hey, we want to do this. And then they never do anything. I'm sick of it. Look, if you want to abolish the Senate, there's a way to do that. It's called a constitutional convention. In the Electoral College, yes, same way. Pack the courts, absolutely. Trump, pack it. Pack it so hard. You know what? Take their threats as honest and say, you know what? You're right. We should pack the courts. I want you to pack it so hard that the Democrats go, oh crap, we didn't think about this. Look, you want to dissolve the Constitution? There's a way to do that. There's actually two ways to do that. One is through armed control of the country and just destroying it all. Through dictatorship, good luck with that. Most heavily armed country in the world. And people actually believe in the Constitution. Or you could do a constitutional convention. Yet again, 35 years. I'm just saying, if you really want to, the problem is they know they can't win. They know they can't win if they have to play by the rules. So they want to throw a monkey wrench in everything. Look, I'm all for that. Let's go.
You're right.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, seriously. This is what we've been talking about. Trump, and I said this in the first term. I said this when he was in office the first time. Be the person that the left says you are.
Yeah, look.
Just be them. Be him. Be him.
I don't care what makes them boo, because I already saw what makes them cheer. Okay? It's real simple. You know, it is so brave and stunning when they cut the genitalia off of children. Okay? That's what they cheer for.
Oh, of course.
I don't give a shit what they... I'm sorry, Frank. I don't care.
We're going to bring the swear jar back.
I don't care. I absolutely don't care what makes them boo anymore, because I see what makes them cheer.
I had you know Tom Pinoy.
Yeah.
Tom Pinoy. Him and Accelerate.
Yeah.
They were some guests of mine early on in the channel, and we had the swear jar. They would actually have to, if they swore, they have to put a $2 inside the swear jar.
Hey, look, I'm only saying the poopy word. I mean, you know. And for those of you who don't know,
Tom did an amazing job. You know how filthy Tom's mouth is.
Yes.
He did an amazing job in being able to avoid the swear jar.
Accelerate. No, he probably failed often.
He filled some of it in there. He's like, oh, got me, Frank.
Yeah, I have a filthy mouth. I'm a, former soldier, former airman. We cuss. I work in a very tough field. We talk sternly to each other. So it's just my natural thing. I try not to. Try. I fail.
Try.
Yeah.
Space Force. Could you still apply for Space Force?
No, I wouldn't want to be in Space Force. They don't do anything. Now I want to work for the Space Force, but that's only because I want to be over there I want to be on the Space Coast.
Space Coast is where it's at, man. Hey, and just so you guys know where we're at, we have 13 minutes before the end of our goal push to get 9 more super chats. So if you guys are able to get 9 more, we'll be able to extend our stream. And of course, talk what you guys want to talk about. I can actually drop the link inside there now that Jason brought it up. and you guys can talk about whatever you want. We'll bring you on, and you can talk about what it. But I will drop you if you go a little crazy.
And Mike Dawson is absolutely correct. Believe what the left says. Yes, they tell you. They tell you exactly what they want.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, 13 minutes. If you guys want to participate and extend the stream for an additional 30 minutes, and you guys come on, talk about, I could fit up to how many guests? I got 10. So we got 8 people up on here at one time.
Oh, no, you don't want to bring them on one at a time.
No,
it's
I
like
wouldn't.
herding cats.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But they could be in the waiting room.
Redeemed Patriot, that is a great song. Richmond, North of Richmond by Oliver Anthony is a great song. I'm not a big fan of all of his music, but that song actually, just the soul that he uses when he's singing that song. If you haven't heard that song,
yeah, it's a good song. That's a good song.
It's one that's almost it hits you.
Yeah, I think I covered that when it came out on the channel. We covered the song. But anyway, we got about 14 minutes or 13 minutes left on the show. I got a couple last minute stories here, Jason, that we'll go ahead and cover.
Right on. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let us go, my friend. Let me go ahead and put it up on the screen here real quick. Let me, you will get a kick out of this one here. Let me go ahead. I keep doing that. I keep going to share it and then I drop it. There we go. So we were talking a little bit about the officers who've been enforcing the law. You know, what a novel idea. They're in DC. Eric Daughtry has this video here. It says, laughing my butt off. What a comeback. Liberal protester says, you know, you guys are ruining this country, right? The officer said, liberals already ruined it. The protester was mad. Let's take a look at this interaction here, Jason.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Is your... Oh, you guys are ruining this country. You know that, right? Liberals already ruined it. Oh.
Based.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna see some badge work, guys. Hey, guys, already ruined it. No number, no ID, no name. This is a democratic process. It looks like it. Can we see some badge work? Already ruined the country. Hey, man, can we see some badge work before you go? Can we see some badge numbers? Hey, sorry. Get the plates, bro. Get the front plate. There is no front plate. Oh, weird. Oh, so you guys, is this legal? Hey, man,
so here's the deal.
Your badge number? Oh, you are right.
I don't like cops in masks. I don't. Okay. But the fact that they have to wear a mask because their families are being targeted because they are doing their freaking job. You want to ask for their badge? You know what? Should have asked for their permit. Oh, I'm sorry. Or I think you're loitering. Oh, well, I'm going to trespass you. Oh, you'll get my badge number. Don't worry. And booking. Play the game.
Yep.
I don't want people arrested for protesting. I don't. But if you got to wear a mask because you're worried about the safety of your family while you're doing your freaking job that you swore to do, stop playing nice with them. I'm sick of it. Go in hard. I don't think anyone should be allowed to wear a mask in public, period.
I just wanted to highlight this comment because we talked about it a little bit ago about the Texans. Sabrina, one of our longtime viewers here, says, we won today. Go Texans.
Hey, look. She can,
hey, it's preseason.
She's allowed to have bad taste in teams. It's okay. As I say, I got a Saints helmet right there. Saints are going to be horrible this year.
They've been horrible ever since they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. They're still my team.
Yeah, that one magical year.
Yes, and I will keep going back to it.
You sound like a Cowboy fan.
Yes, exactly.
It's our
except
year.
we didn't have no. See, I don't say it's our year. I never say that. Like, oh, we're gonna suck again.
Hey, at least you can watch your Super Bowl victory on a DVD.
Fair.
You pull out the last Super Bowl victory for the Cowboys. You got to pull out that VHS tape.
Yeah. Ooh, being a Bears fan, that's hard. Being a Bears fan is really hard.
What was before the VHS? Was that beta?
No, before it was like 9mm film. Beta and VHS were at the same time. But it's kind of ridiculous. Pro football is dead. Yes, who dat and dead, indeed.
Who dat? You know what, Sparky? We visited New Orleans a couple months ago. I actually kind of enjoyed New Orleans. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did.
Were you in Jackson Square?
Describe Jackson Square.
They got a big statue of Andrew Jackson. They have Cafe Du Monde. They have.
Oh yeah, I went to Cafe. I think it was Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah, that's in Jackson Square.
They did the beignets, yeah.
Beignets. Yeah, it looks like
they have like outdoor seating.
Yeah. And stuff. They got all the powdered sugar on top of it. When you go to bite, it shoots everywhere because you breathe out. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah. That's Cafe Du Monde. I love Cafe Du Monde. Diabetes loves Cafe Du Monde, by the way.
Cafe Du Monde was the bomb. Cafe Du Monde, and then we went to some seafood restaurant there in the French Quarter that was really good as well. Sharon got to try crawfish for the very first time.
Oh, she had some mud bugs, huh?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, they were actually really good. So,
yeah. No. So you were in Jackson Square. They usually have the artist out there.
Yep. Yeah. We were in Jackson Square.
You have the kids doing tap dance with like aluminum cans tied to their shoes, and
we used to do that. We would take the aluminum cans and we would crush them with our heel of our foot, and then we would go around thinking we had like spurs as cowboys, like.
Yeah. So that's about the only place in New Orleans is good is the French Quarter, Jackson Square. Did you see the riverboat?
Yes, we did.
If you saw the riverboat, then you saw the statue of Andrew Jackson. You just probably didn't know it was him.
Maybe
he was the guy on the horse. Yeah,
on the horse. Yeah.
So Andrew Jackson is the hero of New Orleans because he is the one that liberated
from the French.
Yes.
Yeah, and to my defense, it may have been just because I was more focused on the surrounding area, making sure I kept Sharon safe as we walked through New Orleans there.
That's actually a very smart thing.
So I may have missed it because of that, because I was really focused.
You're paranoid.
On my surroundings. I wanted to make sure we were good.
Yeah, no, I love it there. I always have a blast. I met Lil Wayne there. I've met what's his name? Fight Club guy.
Edward Norton?
Brad Pitt.
Oh, Brad, you met Brad Pitt. Cool.
Yeah, Brad Pitt lives in the French Quarter. He actually has a house in the French Quarter.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So I mean, growing up in South Mississippi, I spent a lot of time in New Orleans. So
yeah, New Orleans is pretty cool. We went a couple years ago, and we were there on business, so it was really just we were more focused on taking care of business, and we were in and out, so we didn't get a chance to really take in New Orleans. And so this time when we had to go to Dallas for business, we had stopped in on the way there for the afternoon, and we kind of did the Cafe Du Monde and just kind of took a little bit of it in. But then on our way back, we stayed the night, and the next day we did not Cafe Du Monde. It was the other cafe.
Yeah, I can't remember the names. It's been a while.
But they serve beignets there as well. And so we went there, and then we visited some of the cemeteries and walked the cemeteries.
You know why they're all above ground, right?
Because they're below sea level.
Yeah.
Way below sea level.
Yeah, the lowest point in New Orleans is 35 feet below sea level. Yeah. It's a big soup bowl.
It literally is, because you got the Lake Pontchartrain. Pontchartrain, yeah. And is that what flooded New Orleans? Was that lake, right?
No. So when the levees broke,
Yeah.
So they had the levees, they have big mounds of dirt, basically up on the side of the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Mississippi River that floods New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, so we got a chance to actually, look through the historic cemeteries they have there, and got to see some really, really old headstones and research a little bit of some of the people that had passed away there. So
yeah, there's
really cool.
So back where I'm from, in one of the neighboring cities in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, there's actually one of the oldest graves in America.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like from the 1600s.
Yeah,
it's a Frenchman's grave. So that's good. I hate the French. Just they're horrible people and their food's terrible. I don't care what you say. European surrender monkeys.
They got French fries, man. Freedom fries.
No, that's an American thing.
I know.
It's the weirdest deal. Did you see the TikTok of the woman? If you were a triple Trumper, if you voted for Trump 3 times and you can't go to Mexican restaurants or Chinese restaurants, I hate to break it to you, sister, but Mexican food in America is Tex-Mex. That's white boy food. Hate to break it to you.
It is Tex-Mex.
And then when you go to a Chinese food restaurant, have you been to China? They don't eat that crap. Everything there is American.
Yep.
Fortune cookie, not a thing.
That's American.
That's American.
We invented the fortune cookie.
Pizza. Pizza's not Italian. It's American. You're welcome.
JJ say crepes.
Crepes. Crepes are actually French.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but French toast is American.
No, it has French in the name. Jason and I, we got to go to Epcot. We got to go around the world at Epcot and try some of the different foods and things like that. He's a hoot to take to places like that.
I wanted to drink around the world. You're a little too straight laced for that.
Yeah.
I figured by the time we got back to the UK, I mean, we could be crawling, but
we had some fish and chips.
But you did have, but you did share a beer with me in Germany. So yeah, it was good.
I did. It was that peach thing, wasn't it? No, not peach. It was it was grapefruit.
Yeah, the grapefruit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was delicious.
So many years ago. We need to do that again.
Look, I'm all for it. I haven't been.
We actually have Disney passes now for this this time through.
I haven't been to Disney in years. So the wife, we had our passes then. And she's like, "Oh, we're going to do this every year." And I'm like, "No, I'm sick of it."
Grilled freedom toast with Texas toast.
Made
from Texas toast.
Joke's on you, Texas toe taxi from Oklahoma.
You know what's American too? It's, grilled cheese. That's American.
Yeah. But you know what's not cheese? American cheese. It's plastic. I hate that. Like, the little Kraft single sliced American cheese. It's mostly edible plastic.
Yeah, that's the magic cheese we give to our dogs when we have
oil.
We have to feed them
plastic.
medicine.
Yeah.
We got they're anxious. We have 2 dogs and they're overly anxious all the time, especially if we have company over. So whenever we have company over, we have to give them magic cheese because it has their anxiety meds and it puts them out. For a good point where they don't bother the guest and bother themselves, because we have one of our dogs will sit there and bark and then pee himself because he's so scared.
Joy.
Yeah. So to avoid that,
did you ever watch the A-Team when you were young?
Of course.
Yeah. So you basically did
a Mr. T.
You did the Mr. T to them. I ain't getting on no plane. Oh, here, have this coffee, BA. Sure. Yeah, good job. Congratulations, you date raped the dog. Good job.
Oh man,
Jones.
All right, guys, we are at the 2-hour mark, and we didn't reach the goal. However, we did pick up 10 new subscriptions and one super chat from Jason, who's my co-host. So Congratulations, guys.
Hey, who was the mad lad that donated the 10?
Oh, that was our great friend over at the gaming channel, Fat Boy Gaming.
Fat Boy Gaming. Make sure to go check him out. I did actually go sub to him. I hope he has good content. If he doesn't, I will mock you incessantly, Frank. You pushed me there.
If you like old school games, he does old school games. That's what he does. So
right on.
So I appreciate all of you guys. We will be back on Tuesday night. I am going to work back up to trying to do streams every day. Not yet. I need to get the stream legs back, and that's why Jason's here giving me a hand and moving us in the right direction. So I look forward to being back on Tuesday night with Jason. He won't be joining us every Saturday night, but he will definitely be here Tuesday and Thursday with me as we cover the news, cover the culture, cover whatever may be relevant that you need to know. And if you guys are able to hit those goals, we will open up the lines. You guys can come in and talk about whatever you want to talk to us about, and we'll talk to you about that. So check it out. All right. Anything else you got left to say, Jason, before we get out of here?
No, I'm good. Just hey, everyone, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube and Rumble things. Where can you find me on Rumble? You can't right now. Haha. But don't worry. Maybe eventually.
Maybe eventually. Maybe this is more of a beneficial thing for me and Jason to getting our stream legs back together. So kind of like working out together almost.
There you go. I like it.
So, all right, guys, we'll see you guys back. Thank you to all the Rumble peeps over there. Thank you guys, JJ over there, keeping the chat alive, hitting the like buttons, hitting the share buttons, and of course, hitting that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have all a wonderful evening. Bye, everyone.